The most requested question I get, how to run a good listing appointment. All right, let's break it down and go through it. So you know, and you have already gone through the entire lesson on sending the CMA email. That CMA email provides the best possible outline for a listing appointment that I could personally imagine, okay? So because you've already done your due diligence and all that research, you sent the seller prospect an email about prospective sales price or range of value, ballpark timelines, the cost for your services, why they should hire you, in a ballpark seller net proceeds sheet. When you show up to this appointment, if they read that email, you are going to be in an incredible spot because you will have probably answered almost every question that they could possibly have, all right? But let's just go right into it, okay? So you're going to show up to the house. I am never, ever late to a listing appointment if I have any say in it personally. I always try to be 5 minutes early, like right on the dot. I don't want to be 10 to 15 because usually this can be a stressful appointment for people. You know, it's usually a large asset or their largest asset. Most people aren't transacting in real estate on a very regular basis. And so this appointment can be stressful. So please keep that in mind, all right? I want them to have accurate or enough time to prep their home so that they feel most comfortable when they are spending time with me, all right? I want them to have the highest chance of success. So I personally show up 5 minutes early. I think you should show up looking successful, okay? So whatever that means to you, okay? So I would not show up looking like a bum, all sweaty post-workout with my hair a mess. I think you should dress for success, whatever that means to you. Now, for some people, that's going to mean super clean Nikes and jeans and a hoodie. Other people, that's going to be a full-blown suit or a fancy dress. For me, I'm always, you know, when it's cold, I'm always just wearing a nice sweater, very freshly ironed jeans, and some clean boots, usually. So anyways, dress for success, show up 5 minutes early, knock on the door. They're going to say hello and welcome you in. Okay, you're going to start with general pleasantries and establishing rapport. Regardless of how well you know this person, we want to start it off on a good note. So I say, hey, Jane, thanks so much for inviting me over. I'm really excited to be here and I can't wait to earn your business today. They're going to say, hey, no problem at all. Come on in. And then they're usually going to look at you kind of weird, like, what do we do next? And I am immediately going to take charge and establish myself as a professional in this setting. I am comfortable, right? I do listing appointments all the time and I'm going to project that to this client. So I'm going to say, thanks again for letting me in, Jane. I'm going to take off my shoes here. The best thing we can do to get started is, can you please give me a tour of the house? All right. They're going to say, yeah, sure, of course. Where should we start? And I say, let's get started on the main floor. I want you to know, I'm going to whip out my phone. I'm going to be taking notes the whole time on a Google Doc so that there's really no risk of me losing this. I just want to reduce the risk of me having to ask you the same question over and over, okay? I promise I'm not texting my friends. I'm just taking notes so I can do my job to the best of my ability. They're going to say, totally fine, that sounds great. And then you might have to guide them on the tour, okay? So they're going to start, a lot of times people are uncomfortable about giving you a tour of their house. They're going to gloss over it or fly right by stuff that's really important to you as a real estate agent or broker, ideal or important sales points, okay? Because they're hiring you because they're not particularly skilled or have the interest or desire to spend the time selling their home, okay? So they're going to come in, they're going to walk you through, and they're going to say, oh, that's my office. And you guys say, oh, great, I noticed that you have wainscoting. Or, hey, I love that crown. Did you put that in? Or like, did you drop those can lights in or were they here originally? So you need to get information while you're walking through the house. Hey, here's my powder room. Awesome. Those look like quartz countertops. Are they? Yes. We renovated this bathroom within the last 3 years. So cool. Hey, here's my kitchen. You're going to say, oh, I love that open floor plan. Those appliances look great. Are they new? Awesome. They're going to tell you about the appliances. They're going to say, are those staying with the house? Just use this tour, this opportunity to learn as much as you can about the home. Any upgrades which have been done in the recent future, you should be writing this down, asking them if they know ages of mechanicals, furnace, AC, hot water heater. When you're in the basement, if there's a basement, ask them if there's ever been water issues. Hey, do you know the age of the roof? You're just talking to them, providing easy conversation, making them feel very comfortable while showing you your home or their home. I'm also making sure I take notes about things that they're going to need to do to prepare their home to best be presented to the market, okay? So if I see a gaping hole in the wall from somebody's okay, let's think of one realistic. from somebody opening the door really hard, right? Say like a garage entry door and the little thing that stops it from smoking the wall, fell off the bottom of the door and there's a hole. I make a note like, hey, gonna need to patch behind garage entry door, okay? Then they're gonna take you on the whole tour. You're gonna be done. And I say, thank you so much for the tour, Jane. I really appreciate it. I learned a ton about your house. The next step is for us to sit down wherever is most comfortable for you so I can go through all the really important like facts and data and answer any questions you have. Where's the most comfortable place that you'd like to sit? They almost always take me to their kitchen table. Almost every time. Sometimes they're island, usually kitchen related, somewhere for all of us to sit. Now, a really important thing that I do in listing appointments, this is like a sociology, probably more of a psychology related item, is I never sit across the table from them if I can help it, all right? I will always try and, if there's a rectangle, if they're sitting here, I sit here, okay? I don't sit across from them. When I sit across from them, that kind of changes the tone or the feeling or the vibe of our appointment and makes it feel very much like an interview, and I don't like that. I'm trying to deepen my relationship and continue establishing rapport. I want them to feel comfortable, and so I sit off to the side of them, right? If they're on the edge of a table, I'm on the edge adjoining or right next to them, all right? That allows me to share my computer much easier as well too, okay? So I'm gonna sit right to the side of them. Even if there's two on one side, I'm gonna sit right here. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open my laptop, all right? Or you could use a tablet if you want, iPad, whatever you want. And I'm gonna pull up the CMA email. I'm gonna make sure I'm connected to the Bluetooth on my phone or their internet, whichever one works. And I'm gonna say, hey Jane, did you have a chance to check out this email I sent you yesterday? She's gonna say yes or no. I say, great, cool. Well, this is gonna answer all of our questions, so I'm gonna go through it with you. Please feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions. I'm gonna open the actual live CMA, which I showed you how to create in the CMA email module. I'm gonna click it. I'm gonna say, hey Jane, here you go. I think your house looks exactly like this. A note for you all, on a CMA report, I really only want ideally like 3 houses. I don't want like 7, 10, 12 houses to compare to. That just gets really confusing for people. I'm trying to guide the value before I get to the appointment so that when I'm in the appointment, this conversation is simple. So I'll say, hey Jane, look, here are the top 3 that I included in our CMA. Based on this, I really think, your home is worth or is valued at X amount, $725K. Is that in alignment with what you thought we might list at? And when I come to them with the facts like that, when I have it directly in front of them, like, hey, here's a house at 700, here's one at 725, here's one at 735, your house looks exactly like the one at 725, and this thing sold within the last 90 days. It's very, very difficult for people to be irrational about the price or the value of their home, all right? It's hard because it's in front of them with actual data, okay? So I am backing myself with data at all times so that I can keep people on the tracks towards success, all right? They almost always say, okay, I can agree with that, or man, I was really hoping for 750, but based on this CMA, it looks like you spent a lot of time on this and we're very thorough. I'm okay at 725. Say, okay, cool, sounds good. So we're in agreement on what we think we should list this thing at and what we think the value is. Let's move on and talk about timeline. Now talk to them about timeline. I say, hey, look, based on this CMA report, average days on market before going pending was 17. There's no way I could ever guarantee or give a hard timeline to you. I just want you to know that this is what's been happening and the market is either sped up or slowed down. I anticipate it to move quicker, move slower, and all I can really do is promise you that I'm going to do my absolute best to control all the variables I have control over, okay? I'm going to take excellent professional photo and video, all right? I'm going to post that on all of my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's going to go on YouTube. We're going to blast it out to our list of agents, brokers, buyers and sellers. We have over 6,000 people on it. And I'm just going to market to the best of my ability. I'm going to make sure that I have done everything I can to control the outcome and steer us towards success. That's really all I can do. I want to show you this facts and data so we have some sort of idea what's going on. But, again, I don't have a crystal ball. I just want to tell you I'm going to do my absolute best on this timeline. You're going to say, okay, great. I say, cool. Next up is commission. We can't charge a standard commission in the state of Michigan. There is no set commission, but I believe mine is very average. I charge 6% and a $5.95 compliance fee on every single deal. When I come out and say that to them with no qualms or questions, I'm not whispering about it or saying, oh, I charge 6%, or I'm not glossing over it or skipping it. I just openly discuss that with them confidently because I know that I'm competent and capable. I'm the best person for this job, and I fully believe that. I'm not shy about telling them what I cost because I know that I'm worth that. And so if you don't feel that way yet, you need to get there as quickly as possible. Because as soon as you can have this conversation confidently with a client, you're going to get asked to reduce your commission way less, okay? Because you know your worth and clients can feel that. When you come in and you're all meek and shy and you're whispering about the commission, people can sense that you don't feel worthy and they will get after you and they will try and get your commission reduced as much as they can. So I want you to just think about, I'm going to make a whole separate video on commission reduction overcomes and how to combat that. But, just think about the fact, if you agree to a reduced commission yourself, then what does that say about your ability to negotiate with future buyers? It's not good, okay? So we've covered sales price, timeline. We have covered commission. Then you're going to talk to them about your marketing plan and your reviews. So you're going to say, hey, look, here's the plan. We have pro video and pro photo the Friday before, coming soon on Monday. We're going to list it on Friday. It's going to go active. We're going to have an open house Saturday and Sunday from 12 to noon. I run ads on Facebook and Instagram. I post it on all my social media channels and send a bunch of emails like I told you. I promise I'm really going to get after it. That's the marketing plan. Do you have any questions about that? They usually don't because it's probably more than they anticipated in the first place. Then you move on and you say, okay, cool. Let's move on to the net seller proceeds sheet. I estimated originally, the first estimate I sent was based off 700. We both feel comfortable at 725. I'll get you an updated sheet, but let's look at the 700 real quick so you have some sort of an idea of what you're going to net here. All right. I just want you to know that your net proceeds, they're variable. They're going to change. This is the title company in the state of Michigan. This is the title company's job to work up the exact final figures because it totally depends on what day the sale actually closes. But, it's a pretty good ballpark. All right. Do you have any questions there? They almost never do. And that's it. Okay. If they have any other questions, ask them and answer them. If they're throwing up hurdles, answer every question you have, or answer every question they have. Keep working through them. Do as many overcomes as possible, whatever you need. But honestly, it's so rare to have any questions after you've gone through the CMA email. My next step is I say, okay, cool. Now that we've answered all your questions, we've done a tour, we've gone through this CMA email, we've answered every single question. The next thing we're going to do is fill out the documents, all right? And I just get the documents out. I pull it up digitally. I already have it open in a tab. And I say, hey, we're going to go through the listing documents. Are you ready for that? They're going to say yes or no, right? I'm just assuming that I've already won the listing and we're going to get it signed today. I explain each document to them briefly. And I say, this is where you're going to sign, all right? This is what this document means. This is where you're going to sign. Then I'm going to set up the signing event right on the spot. I'm going to have them sign all documents. I'm going to say, hey, in Michigan, you have to do a seller's disclosure. This is going to be your biggest homework. It's probably going to take 5 minutes. I can't answer it for you. The directions are right there in black and white. All you got to do is read them. I'm going to be sitting right here. If you have any questions, you just have to be the one to fill out that in your lead-based paint. I'm sitting here if you need any questions. So you're going to have them fill out the documents. Once the documents are done, congratulations. You have officially locked it up. Now what I do is I just go to last minute questions. I confirm the timeline. I go through my checklist. I'm going to have an attached document here underneath this video where you can see all the questions and stuff that I go through and answers I make sure I have before I leave that house. And that's it. Then I just wrap it up. I thank them for their time and I say goodbye, right? Then I head out and I start on my checklist, which is a future video. So congratulations, you've won that listing.